is a special number because you can read it.
Because it's the shape
Front
of our bodies now that
back.
we're 5 years older than when we met. Our bodies are in the shape of 8s standing next to each other.
Very true, very true.
I'm an uppercase 8, she's a lowercase 8. She was just
scoot over a little bit. That way 88 can show in
just
the background.
yesterday she's like, is all this fat? Is all this fat mine? I was like, yeah, that's yours. I was like, is all your fat mine? She's
Talking
like,
about his fat.
the upper 8.
Yeah.
So
So today's that day, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but I forgot this morning, and he was asking, and I was like, the 26th? He goes, what day's our anniversary? I said the 26th, which would have been yesterday. And oops. I do have to say, though, ever since I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and then hearing the horror story of women losing their memory after having their thyroid gland removed, that was one of the biggest turnoff for me to get surgery because of memory loss. And here we are today. I forgot that today was our 5th year anniversary.
and I know you all want to know what we did for our 5-year anniversary. We went to the CPA's office.
We did go visit our CPA.
And I have to write more bills. More is outflowing in bills today than the town of Otter Creek will write in the next 2 years. In one day, honestly, in one half hour, I have to write more outflowing checks than the entire town of Otter Creek will write in the next 2 years. If not 3, might be 3 years.
Might be 3 years.
So George said, you know what? How about I just buy you the town?
Yeah. How about I get you, I asked him, how about I get you the golden key
The
to the
key
town?
to the town?
Yes.
She'd be sharing the key to the town with me.
You know what you have to do with the key, though, once I do give you the golden key?
I think once you get a golden key, you have to make a golden wish with the golden key of the town.
Yes.
And then you have to cast that golden key with the golden wish into the ocean.
Into the ocean. That's how it works.
That's how you're.
That
yeah.
is how it works.
Well, that's how it works if you're complete and totally insane in the brain. That's how it works.
Which we are. We're both.
It's one of the reasons why we get along is because she's weird.
And you're weird. And I like you.
I tolerate you.
Yeah.
I tolerate you.
Michael, a Hale friend, thank you for the 5.
Thank you
I think
so
we
much.
missed another.
You didn't. It's only right there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
we got a couple of people that joined to become members. Welcome,
that's
welcome.
great. This morning when we woke up, thank you.
Yeah.
So this morning when we woke up, I went, hey, happy anniversary. 5 years ago, I asked you to annoy me for the rest of your life. You're doing a great job.
How's it feel to annoy me for 5 years? I'm like, I think I'm doing a good job of annoying you.
So those who are watching and don't understand sarcasm and humor,
We do like to bust each other's chops. I think if
nonstop.
if we were just nice to each other all the time, life would
Be
be boring.
boring.
So boring.
It'd be
You
boring.
have to bust each other's chops. And I know a lot of viewers at home have the same relationship with their significant other where they're always busting each other's chops and teasing one another and making fun of each other, poking fun at each other, and it's all love. It's all
Somebody
love.
just sent $20. Thank you so
Ooh,
much.
Louisiana. Thank
Voodoo
you.
Queen, thank you. So, honestly, when we met, was it you that asked me? You were like, I want you to annoy me for the rest of your life, or was it me that asked you?
I think it was you that asked me
I was like-
because I've never heard that saying
It's
before.
like, will you
up
annoy me
until-
for the rest of your life?
That was on date 3 though. That wasn't on date 1.
That was date 3.
Yeah, a lot happened on date 3.
Cool.
Jeremy almost burned the neighbor's tree down
A
on
lot
date
happened
3.
on date 1. A lot happened on date 1.
In this booth,
In
our
the booth.
so our very first date here in this specific booth lasted about 3 hours.
And George was sitting where I'm at right now, and I was
3
sitting where she was
hours.
at. It was actually across the booth from her. And then,
and it was so loud, and he couldn't hear me.
well, I could, but that's what I told her. I was like, you know what? I can't hear you. I'm gonna come sit next to you. And she's like, okay.
I thought it was a weird request because no one's ever did that before. Like normally you have the booth and then thank you Ann for the 10.
And thank you,
people
Max
sit
Labs.
across from each other in the booth, and he wanted to come sit next to me. So I thought that was a little
I was like, it's so
Thanks,
loud
Dawn.
in here. So loud. I can't.
Yeah, they do have the music really loud
So-
right now.
So I went and sat next to her, and then she never left after that. She's like, the funniest thing is George, literally date one. Okay, this is not stuff you say on date one, but George on date one, she's like, well, maybe you can see me maybe every other weekend. I have a very extremely
not every
active
other.
social life.
not
Okay,
every
you
other,
may see
every
me.
weekend.
She's
Every
like, you
weekend.
may see me one weekend a month. I'm extremely active socialite. I have lots of friends that I hang out with,
Yeah.
and you are. She's literally. She was telling me they are the constant in my life, and that will never change, and you're not gonna change it. And I'm like, okay.
That was the season that I was in my life where
I'm sitting here going, I just asked you out to dinner. I just wanted to know if you were real.
that didn't happen.
And she's
right
going,
away.
and you're not gonna do this
It's called
and this.
thanks,
James, thanks.
It's called setting boundaries when you meet somebody.
So then,
right?
after date 3, the woman literally never left my house. Like, every day. I'm like, okay.
Juliet, over or under?
Absolutely.
Over. And that was actually a
Over.
question. Thank you, Grandma Gigi. That was a question he asked prior to ever meeting in person.
So we were texting for a few days, and I was like, hey, you want to play 20 questions just to help get to know each other?
Yeah.
And the biggest question was, do you put it over or under?
And I said crumbler.
And I was like, this ain't ever gonna work. And boy, was I right. Boy, was I right.
I think what I try to do is I try to answer in the most awkward possible way. Thank you, Dan. I try to answer as awkward as possible to make him think that I was so weird, and it worked. It worked.
She is. She's extremely weird. There's no doubt about it.
That's how I was able to hook him in. The weirder, the better.
Oh, trust me. It was something else that hooked me. It was something. Actually, it was the sense of humor, hands down. I think I've been very open about this. It is literally the sense of humor. So, and this is nothing derogatory against George or anybody else, but I mean, I've been on dates. I mean, George knows this. This isn't something that's going to offend her. I've been on dates with professional supermodels, and I didn't go and see them, and I didn't want to see them again.
Right, because beauty is within.
So-
Aw, Jackie. Jackie said
Thank you,
desserts on the.
Jackie.
Actually, there is a dessert menu right here that our waiter left, in case we want to get dessert.
So I understand some of you out there would be offended and be like, oh, if my husband or my boyfriend said that in front of me. George isn't jealous or offended by that.
No.
So, and I'm not joking. I've been on dates with professional supermodels, and I don't want to see them again.
Yeah.
And when I met George, I was like, holy cow.
Well, let's back up. I've been on dates with men that had more hair than this one, and their personalities were very dry, or they were just not funny.
Yeah, but you did not go on a date with anyone's driveway that came anywhere close to mine, and I have lots of them.
So the point we're trying to make is looks isn't always everything. It really
Driveways
isn't.
are. Driveways are.
A person's sense of humor and a person's personality makes all of the difference.
So
and
it was the humor. It was absolutely 100% the humor.
the sarcasm.
It was the
as well.
sarcasm and the humor. And like even this morning, George and I were getting ready because we had a meeting with the CPA, and then members, you'll see you'll see later what we've been doing all day. So there'll be a video out for the members.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, that's
Are you
okay.
guys
You want to
not
come say
interested in
hi?
You can say hi to
sure.
everybody. This is our waiter, who's like, this is so awkward,
Yeah, no.
so awkward. There's other
He just
people back
learned
there.
about. He just learned about our channel.
See-
Oh, we've
Oh,
got
yeah.
more people.
So-
waiting.
I didn't realize you guys were so big.
Did you see the waitresses? in the
Yeah, I
back
saw.
waving?
But see, their staff changes every year, so the new staff don't realize we come and do this every single year. So
Do you
this is the
remember who
5th year
your server
now.
was your first day?
No, but we can go back and look at the video.
there was a girl that was.
They did
she
not.
did stand-up comedy.
Oh, she was a comedian.
Ash. You're thinking of Ash.
Yes,
Yep.
and then there was a gentleman we had two years in a row.
Thank you, Kayla.
He,
Appreciate it.
He
Wait,
told us that
your server is my boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that
Is
your
that Kaylee?
girlfriend?
Xandra? Kaylee.
She just sent $2.
Kaylee.
Word spreads.
Booth 88, Kaylee.
Well,
Booth
how long
88.
have you and Kaylee been together?
Huh? We've been together for a couple months now.
Okay.
Couple months?
All
Yeah.
right.
But we've been friends a long time.
Kaylee. So you got
That's
a long
the way to do
driveway?
it.
Be honest,
To start
Kaylee.
off
Does he have a
as
long
friends.
driveway? Which right now everybody in Buffalo Wild Wings is like, what are they talking about? And Kaylee, you're obviously brand new. You have no idea. Kaylee, just in case you don't know, I have 2 of the world's longest driveways, one in Ohio and one in Florida. So there's 1,500 videos to figure that all out. What was the question?
The question was.
Wait, no. What was your question?
So, were you guys interested in any desserts today?
We're probably gonna get a dessert because Jackie just sent you
Yeah,
money for
someone
dessert.
just
You
donated
have
money
to
for
now.
dessert.
Oh wow.
You have to now.
Thanks.
What are the options again? I saw cheesecake.
Yep. So we have a loaded ice cream, and then we have
Loaded
like a
ice
fudge cake.
cream. Whatever you want. So
Can
5
I-
years ago,
Can we get just plain cheesecake?
Yeah, you want to do it just
Yeah.
we
Or do you have
we
caramel?
ordered
Do you have
cheese
caramel?
curds for the first time ever right here in this
No, we
booth.
don't.
You don't have caramel, so just plain.
Yeah.
So
Or
fi-
put actually
5
put-
years
oh, put
ago,
the
we
strawberry on
ordered
the side.
cheese
So I
curds.
can do like.
Most amazing thing ever.
Let me just show you.
Okay.
So we had cheese curds, both of us, the first time. It was George's idea. She's like, let's get some cheese curds. Thank you, Angela.
Ooh,
9th anniversary.
It's her kid's 9th anniversary.
So we already had a jumbo order of cheese curds.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave
So we had a jumbo
Oh,
order of
it's
cheese
caramel.
curds already.
Okay, perfect.
You cool with that?
Because we've been killing time in this area of Ohio before we go home. Because again, we had to be here to meet with the CPA today. No joke.
Yes.
And writing more in checks today than
Alright, you just wanted one, right?
Tricky Chi. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tricky
Happy
Chi.
birthday tomorrow, Tricky Chi.
Ooh, happy early birthday.
So we ordered chicken wings and cheese curds, and we have been in love with cheese curds ever since.
Yes.
Like cheese curds is the thing that keeps us together.
It is. It was our first time ordering cheese curds ever from anywhere, and we fell in love with it. And ever since then, we compare the taste of their cheese curds to other places, and this place
We
hands
always come
down
back for the cheese
is
curds.
number one.
With ketchup.
Number one.
Always
No.
with ketchup.
Well, mine is with their fancy sauce.
I go with the ketchup.
I like a little bit of fancy sauce dipped in a little bit of ketchup.
So somebody asked, did you think you would be doing this 5 years ago? Okay, so first of all, 5 years ago, we had 0 views on YouTube. Now we're over 250 million views on YouTube.
Yes, total
Quarter
altogether.
of a billion. Even if somebody out there is sharing that we don't have that many views, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand YouTube. They don't understand social media. We have over 250 million views, okay? So that's a lot of views. And this morning, I said to George as well, when we were waking up, I was like, we started at the bottom. Now we here. How you feel about that? How you feel about that? Thank you, What the Otter Creek.
What the Otter Creek.
What the Otter Creek.
We were actually talking, we were joking about taking the channel into a different direction and rebranding the channel from What the Hales to
What
the Laws.
This is your idea.
What
All
the
the
laws.
ideas are. We were talking to the CPA today, and he's like, we need to set up a meeting. We have to, we need to update on what's going on for the year and where you're going to be and all of this. And I went, okay, I bought the schoolhouse, right? He's like, what? I'm like, how could you miss that purchase? That was like $150,000 cash purchase. How could you miss that? You're my CPA. He's like, okay, what are you doing with that? And I went, well, I'm going to get the key to the town.
And he's like, that's a great idea.
And he said, please do that.
Yes.
Do that.
He goes, please keep me posted.
Yeah.
Keep me informed. Let me know when you're going to plan on throwing it into the ocean because that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That is a really big deal.
That's absolutely what he said. So 5 years ago, this is no joke, 5 years ago, and again, this isn't, sometimes George goes, you shared too much, but I'm just going to be open and honest.
Oh, geez.
5 years ago,
Oh,
6
boy.
months before I met George, I just got out of an abusive relationship. Okay, she was physically abusive, and it was a mess. And
Like noogies all the time and
it
wet
was
willies
worse
all
than,
the
it was
time.
spitting, throwing glass. It was very verbal. Like it was bad. It was bad. Okay, and so and I gave that person an opportunity, like four opportunities to get counseling, and I let her come back 4 times, get counseling, get herself right, and then the 5th time it was a done deal. And then 6 months later I met George, and then all of a sudden laughter again. Laughter again.
There were times where we would just start cracking up.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Jackie, look at this, Jackie.
You guys enjoy.
Holy cow. Whoa.
That caramel drizzle
Whoa.
on the New York cheesecake.
So at that point it was a lost cause. So it was an absolute lost cause.
Well, there was times where you and I would just be cracking up, where our stomachs would start hurting from laughing so much. Like at that point, we had 6-packs from laughing so much.
We would laugh. Now the only times that we laugh more is when we read Lynette's post on Facebook. So we laugh even harder, and this is not a joke.
Well, no,
Because-
just like trolls in general. Like
Well,
the keyboard
trolls,
warriors.
but also Lynette, because many people may not understand this or realize this, but we actually had a mole in on our Facebook page, and we won't give the exact name, but the initials, we called them AW. AW was our mole, playing both sides and giving us everything we needed for our lawsuit. They have since been booted, and we would just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. They've since been booted, but
You want a piece of crust.
what they don't know, should I talk about the other mole?
Maybe it's premature.
There's another mole.
How's this cheesecake?
VM. We like to call this mole VM. Stands for voicemail, because we get a lot of screenshots, and they play the role very, very well. So we get these different things, and we laugh and we laugh. And George literally, her stomach hurts from laughing so much from all of this ridiculousness. Like her stomach hurts.
6-pack.
Like hurts.
6-pack.
And she's like, oh, you gotta see what AW sent. I'm like, all right, I can't take it anymore. And then you gotta see what VM sent, voicemail. And I'm like, are you serious? And they play the roles well. They do play their roles well. But we would laugh. And we would laugh.
Yeah.
We have to talk with our mouths open.
Yeah, right now we are getting our dessert on with cheesecake for those of you who are hopping in late.
Okay, 5 years we met. This is no joke. When I met George, and so I talked about the previous relationship because she utilized me for a lot. For childcare, raising her daughter, because she had no clue how, money, the whole deal. So what I did when I met George is I literally told George, remember I told you, she said, well, you maybe will see me every other weekend.
Every weekend.
I told her, I was like, listen, I have no money. I don't have any money whatsoever, so you can't get any. I told that to George. That was the beginning. I was like, I have no money. You'll never get any. I was like, I have nothing.
And I said, that's fine. As long as you have enough money to pay your bills. I know I have enough money to pay my bills. We'll be fine.
So George and I were talking about that this morning. She's like, I believed you 100%. You looked like you were homeless. She's like, you looked so bad when we met.
I told him, I said, you dress like a dork. You dress like a dork. Your pickup truck was a hoopty.
My truck was not a hoopty. But this morning she was making loves animals.
Love.
Especially
Love.
peacocks.
So Patience is not your daughter.
Patience
either.
is not my daughter.
They're employees, even though we call them the kids. That we are their YouTube parents. So therefore, baby George, YouTube grandparents.
Grandparents to baby George. Yes.
Yeah.
Baby George coming soon. Coming soon. So 5 years ago, we literally sat in this booth. We met and 88, and I don't think anybody could have imagined the way our lives and the paths our lives would take. Like, what are some of the craziest things we've done?
Well, for one, every year we come back here on this
No matter
day,
where we're at in the world,
and we request this booth.
we've climbed through the ancient pyramids of Egypt. We have, yeah, we're doing okay. Thank you.
We've gone hundreds of feet under.
We've gone
Caving.
underground caving.
We've taken a submarine underwater
We've taken helicopters in volcanoes with
Yes.
no doors.
with no doors. 2 different islands.
We have purchased dysfunctional, most
Little town.
redneck town in the world. And if they would have just charged me the normal price that they were charging everybody else, they could still run their whole scheme, and I would have left them alone.
Yes, this is true.
We've been stalked
This
by
is very
turtle freaks.
This is very, very true.
We've had guns pulled out on us.
I'm terrified.
Okay.
I'm terrified. Only of our neighbors. That one particular neighbor. Everyone else is fine.
And Lynette has nothing to do with John Crook. Pretty sure she's made passes on me multiple times.
I could see that.
Times.
I could see that.
Yeah. Now she's asking for $65,000. She's never asked me for anything, but she wants $65,000. But it's not for her. It's for John. For John to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So technically, she's not asking
Yeah.
you for herself. She's asking you for someone
Yeah.
else.
VM gave us a screenshot of that today. So that one is great. But VM is great. Really keeping the double agent going. Doom, 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 doom.
What else have we done that's just crazy?
Okay, crazy.
We watched sunsets in fire towers.
And from
which
the
was-
top of mountains.
How far up would you say the fire tower was?
Not far enough.
80 feet? 180 feet?
Not far enough. We were still too close to.
We've watched
The ground.
sunrise. We've watched the sunrise during hot air balloon in Egypt.
We have done that.
We've watched one of the prettiest sunrises while in a 2-person tent with the top off, like the canopy top off, on Kelly's Island.
We've been able to gift a speedboat named George and another speedboat named Christian to the Christian camp on Kelly's Island for kids, and that's all with your help.
Yeah.
We've been able to impact thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Egyptian orphans
Yes.
in Egypt. We've been able to help the Ark in Levy County. The list kind of goes on and on and on.
We've been able to reunite a lot of families with their loved ones. So in other words, ashes that they lost in storage units, where we've offered them everything in the unit, but all they wanted were ashes or maybe certain personal pictures or personal paperwork.
Remember when we bought the unit for $1,000? It had the safe in it, and then the family reached out to the facility, and the
After the
facility
fact,
reached
yeah.
out to us.
Yes.
And then we went back and bought all of the stuff that we donated to Goodwill so that we could gift it all back.
Yeah.
And we took everything that we were listing on eBay and gifted it all back. We will give back anything we can, anytime we can.
Depending on the situation, we obviously can't restore the love to everyone. So for
Because
example,
there's a percentage of them that are dead.
or they're locked up
They're
for
in
good
prison.
reason.
They're in prison.
So obviously we're
will
not
not-
going to give back the unit to someone who is in jail for a really bad reason, or if they've had a car crash. And oh my goodness, city workers came.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It was a lot of fun because we got the story of some of the people that stopped to get microwaves, and they told us why they needed the microwaves. Some people, literally, their microwave just blew up. So the timing was perfect and they were able to replace their microwave, or maybe their son or their daughter was moving into a new place and needed a new microwave. And so hearing those stories.
Hopefully there was a little drug cartel money left in the microwaves. We'll never tell.
So that was fun. And then there was also AC units in that unit, and we weren't planning on giving those away, but those went bye-byes as well. They went to a good home.
We just went ahead and said, okay, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it all. That's what we ended up saying.
Yes, thank you.
We just said, okay, go ahead and take it. All right, 5 years. Neither of us could have ever imagined what our life was going to look like 5 years ago. I mean, we never knew when we met in this booth. We met in this booth and we both told each other, we said we both have a goal to live in Florida. We want to do winters in Florida. We're done with winters up north. And we never imagined that we would go through the things that we would in Otter Creek. We never imagined we'd own a 10,000 square foot, 100-year-old schoolhouse. We've never imagined we would be at Hale's
Waking
headquarters
up and yes,
in one of the most beautiful, pristine pieces of property in the world. So, that being said, because we started, you literally told me you'll never see me. I told you I have no money. Like we put these boundaries up and went, okay, here it is. What is the most memorable thing for you in the past 5 years?
So Jeremy knows, and a lot of you at home know, that I don't have favorites of anything. So I always have like top 3 or top 5.
All right, what's your top 3 then?
My top 3 most memorable things that happened, I'm gonna go with having the viewers at home help us make such a huge impact for orphan kids in Egypt. And for me, that was
Thank you, Angela.
thanks, Angela. For me, that one took the like we've made impacts with Camp Katniss and helping families back, but the Egyptian kids, the orphan kids in Egypt, that one impacted me the most because both my aunt and my mom, along with their siblings, were orphan. They grew up in orphan homes their entire life. So, that mission and being able to help my aunt accomplish her mission to give back to the orphan kids meant the most to me.
Which we haven't filmed this or publicized this, but Aunt Camelia George, when did we see her again?
So the last time we saw my aunt was when she flew to Florida for the half mil Time to Grow meet and greet.
At half mil, that's another thing. We never in our minds thought that people would come from around the world,
around the globe
to meet us.
Yeah.
That was insane. But
that was a crazy day.
But we'd never really publicized this. We haven't put out any video. We've talked about it a few times. But Aunt Camelia George, then she said, "Hey, I'm gonna fly back to Egypt. I want to buy full cows and I want to feed the hungry." And she didn't come out and say, "Will you help me?"
Right.
What did she say?
She shared with us what she wanted to achieve next to help the less fortunate in Egypt around Easter. So her goal was to go back to Egypt from all of April, all of May, and all of June to help them.
She's going
for
to buy
Easter.
full cows and feed the hungry, feed the homeless and the hungry.
So her goal was to buy an entire cow to feed 50 families. And it goes a long way when you buy a big cow.
So then I went, Aunt Camelia George, how much do you want?
Yeah.
Like, just get to the point. How much do you... She can say that to me. You can't be a freaky Lynette and a John Crook across the street and try and ask for $65,000 from
Or
me.
to put a donation
Yeah.
box at the meet and greet.
So, Aunt Camelia George can say that to me. So I said, Aunt Camelia George, how much do you want? And she goes, well, I don't want you to feel obligated. How much do you want? And so at any rate, we went ahead and we were able to do that. And we don't have video or anything along with that, but she had to come back home early because
So she cut her trip short by
she
a couple
was
weeks.
able to feed the homeless and the hungry. Okay, so
Yes.
even though we haven't really publicized this, all been a part of it, but she had to come home early because of
She got a phone call from my uncle, which is her husband, my dad's brother, and said that he had a tumor in his knee and that he needed to get surgery, and then they had to do treatment, radiation treatment as well. And so he owns his own barber shop and cuts hair for a living, and he couldn't even stand. So he had to shut the shop down because he was the only one running the barber shop, and he hadn't worked. And I want to say it was 2 weeks before he finally got home. And so my dad flew out there. My dad hasn't seen him in...
your dad won't get on a plane. We have
My
tried.
parents don't really like traveling that much.
We have tried
They're
to get them
homebodies.
to fly, to come visit in Florida,
Yeah.
even
So-
even the drive. They're not into that either. But your
Right.
dad got on a plane and
My
went to go
dad
see his brother.
he did get on the plane just to see his brother. And the last time he saw his brother was when I was 17. That was
How old are you
24
now?
years ago. 24 years ago.
You're 57 now?
I just turned
57.
41 in May. Just turned 41 in May.
Dang, you still look.
So I appreciate all the prayers that you guys are
Who has a bigger nose?
prayers for my uncle. Appreciate it. I do need to reach out to my aunt and uncle just to see how they're doing. I haven't talked to her since she was leaving. The last time I talked to her, she was leaving Egypt that night
In an
to fly
emergency,
back
to come
to
back.
the United States.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome, Becky.
You guys have been a part of feeding the homeless and the hungry as well. You just don't know about it.
Right. We don't
And-
share everything that we do, but I thought that was huge. And then the fact that she had to cut her trip short because of my uncle.
All right, so that's one thing. The Egyptian Orphan Project. Since
So
you
that
don't have
was-
a favorite, what's
That
your
was
top
number
three?
one.
Oh, we're going from 1 to 3.
Second most memorable. Jeez, it's so hard. It's hard to pick because there's so much that has happened in our lives the last 5 years. Probably the meet and greet. I'm going to say the meet and greet because, we have an awesome YouTube community where we see you guys on the live chats and the comments and the emails on social media platforms and all the love and support that you guys provide. And then meeting in person, that was pretty awesome. Getting a face with the name. And my role that day, working the gate and checking people in, not only did it take people by surprise that I was the one checking people in, but I got to meet you guys, for those who attended, in person and got your YouTube profile name linked with your faces. So I loved that part, being able to meet you guys in person finally. And the last one would be, oh geez. Are you gonna tell your top three?
Wasn't
Next,
planning on it.
you should.
I'm eating cheesecake.
I think you should. And the third one, in the 5 years we've been doing it, honestly, our employees have been a blessing. Patience, Christian, Deanna, you guys are family. And so, we couldn't be the What the Hale's family without our employees to help us hold it down. And so they've been such a blessing to us and such a good fit for the family and the channel. So that's my top three. Now it's your turn, Jeremy.
My tops are all about when viewers say you can't do that, and we go and do a whole video on it. So it could have been, we're gonna go to
Thanks, Carol.
Florida and we're gonna catch gators. And they went, you can't do that. And I literally have a license. I literally have a gator catching license. 1 second here. Wait, this
Didn't you
is
give it away?
the old one. This is my new one.
Is there anything on there that you shouldn't be showing? Just
I
show
think
the
we're good.
top half right here.
I think we're good. I literally have a gator catching license. When everybody says you can't do, I just love it. I love it. That everybody thinks that they got life figured out, and then we go and do it. And we're like, oh well, it's
Well,
like
another thing a lot of people told us is you can't feed the gators, but we went to Gatorland and we hand fed them.
multiple places.
Yeah.
What about they said you can't swim with manatee, and then we went ahead and swam with manatee. I mean, it's funny to me because people don't usually think big enough. Like, you need to think this big. It's a constant thing that I talk to George about. Like, you need to get rid of the barriers of your mind. There's always a way to do it. Always. There's always
We always
a
think
yes.
there's a solution to every problem.
So don't be a problem, be a solution. So I find it funny when fans, I'm just going another route, or viewers go, you can't do that, you can't do that. And we do it. And then they have to backpedal like Lynette does on all of her lies. Well, Mary was home, but Jeremy lied. He lied. Okay, but I said he abuses me, but Jeremy lies. I said I wear a mask everywhere and stay 6 feet apart from everyone, but Jeremy lies. Okay, all right. So to me, it's fun. And the aspect of it is when people say you can't, there are people who say you can, and then there are people who do. And so I've always been on the side of tell me I can't, and I'll make sure that I will. And so it's fun in that aspect for me, for people to go, that can't be done. And I go, all right, let me show you how it is. And I think that's part of the education of this channel, that what the Hales tries to show you. You can do what you put your mind to. You can make things happen in your life. You can change your life for the better. You can do the things that people tell you can't be done. And so I look at that as part of, I've lived this my whole life. I've been an executive director. By the way, if anybody ever tells you I was a pastor, I was absolutely not a pastor. Never been a pastor in my life. I have spoke, and I've been a visiting speaker to colleges, universities, churches, conferences all over the world. But so as I was the executive director, I would literally take in my employees, and I would hire about 100 employees a year, and I would try and teach them how to be a solution to every problem. You don't bring your boss a problem, you are the solution to the problem. If you bring your boss a problem and expect him to solve it, we're good. Then you don't do anything for that employer. An employer hires you so that you are the solution, that he doesn't have to do that job, period. And so I hope you guys understand that in the aspect of the channel. We're teaching you how to build a new life, how to think differently, and how to do differently every day. So the things that people have said can't be done, I literally go, okay, let's do it. And that's motivation enough for me to just go, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can get it done. You can do it. And I can't even begin to tell you how many things people said that we can't do, and yet we still do it. So that's big. That's big.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna...
So in other words, ignore the naysayers.
Always.
Do what your heart tells you. Do what you love. As long as it's legal and doesn't
You're
end,
always-
you don't end up behind bars.
Always gonna have naysayers, and those naysayers are always, it's out of
They're
jealousy.
the ones that are going to try and weigh you down.
It's completely out of jealousy.
You want to surround yourself around like-minded people that are going to lift you up and that are going to be a positive influence in your life. And
I think Christian and Patience, I think they've said that before, because I'll put them on camera sometimes. I'll be like, hey, what's the number one thing you've learned from me? Or we'll be in the car driving and I'll be like, listen, if you learned nothing else from me today, you need to learn there's always a solution to every problem. You need to think creatively, be a creative problem solver. There's always a yes and the no. So, yes, that is one of the biggest things.
yeah, and a lot of people, whether it's family, close friends, those could be the ones holding you back, because you may be toxic and you don't realize that they're toxic, and you just gotta kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Maybe
Thank you, Amy.
separate yourself from those people so that you can meet your goals and to move forward and do what you love.
Remember, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, or it could be Narcotics Anonymous. The very first thing they teach you, if you want to change your life, if you literally need to change your life, you need to change the people that you're around. If you want to be a millionaire, you hang out with 5 other millionaires. If you're hanging out with 5 other homeless beggars, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be a homeless beggar. Now, some of you are going to take offense to that. That shouldn't be offensive. That should be life-changing for you. You should go, what am I doing here in my life? I don't have to stay here. I can change it. I need to cut people out of my life, the wrong people, and get around the right people. In other words, if you want to be a millionaire, hang out with 5 other millionaires. They're going to teach you, and you're going to raise yourself to that level. I hope you understand that, and I hope that's part of the benefit of the channel. Really, the channel is for somebody just said, I love your channel for all the life lessons and the humor. The channel is an outlet, it's a creative outlet for our humor, but it's also a scrapbook of our lives. So
And
now,
the name of the channel is perfect because you never know what the Hales were going to do next. You never know what the Hales is going to happen next. You never know what the Hales we're going to find next.
this is a scrapbook of our lives. The channel was meant to just be a scrapbook of life. And
Thanks, Tom.
and so we, in 15 years, get to look back and go, oh, remember our 5-year anniversary at Booth 88 at Buffalo Wild Wings in Medina, Ohio, where we met on our very first date. It's all a scrapbook of our lives, of our adventure, of the fun.
JK.
There's going to be a point. George is probably already there with Alzheimer's and dementia. She's absolutely beginning stages.
My memory isn't the greatest, and I've explained this earlier in the live. It's because it's being diagnosed with thyroid cancer and having the surgery.
So it's like the Notebook.
You knew that was coming.
It's like the Notebook, except I'm not writing it all down. I'll actually be able to show her in video form. It's
and
a
then
scrapbook of
it'll
our
be
life.
like 50 First Dates.
Oh, it already is. It's like that. Like you have no idea how many times I've actually been here trying to go live already. And I was trying to make Waffle Houses with a door, but I was doing it with cheese curds, and it didn't work very well. There weren't enough toothpicks. So, but that's a huge thing in regards to just scrapbooking life. I enjoy the aspect of the adventures. Some of my favorite videos are the adventures that we've been on and the things we've done. Not Otter Creek. I could care less about the Otter Creek. I wish I never had to actually do Otter Creek. And frankly, we all know I should have never had to have done that, right? We all know.
Should have never gotten to
It
that
should have
point.
never, ever gotten to that point, ever. And so that's not something that I enjoy doing. But our adventures, our life adventures, where we've been, what we've done, that's something that I absolutely enjoy, big time. And so that's a huge thing as far as memories. Those are the memories that I enjoy the most. Those are the memories that I enjoy the most, for sure.
Yeah.
I do not enjoy the $500 rock storage unit. That was horrible.
And now look at you. You want some of those rocks back.
That's true. I do. For some landscaping projects. But at the time, that was rough. That was rough. But that's part of life too. You have the ebb and the flow. You have the peaks and the valleys. You have the wave down and the crest and so you've seen us at our worst. You've seen us at our best, and you've seen our lives and the situations in our lives at the worst and at the best as well. So it's unique for sure. You guys probably have memorized more about us than we can even remember.
Oh yeah. Life becomes a blur at times. Well, for me at least, with my memory going bad. But
Did you ever think?
every day I pray to the Lord to give me guidance and to tell me what the plan is going to be. Because every day I want to quit. I really do.
So I fire George every day.
I tell him to fire me every day.
Insubordination, which has been from day one. Again, but I'm the one that said, hey, I want you to annoy
Thanks,
me
Alex.
for the rest of your life. And she took that charge and she ran with it. So So we were doing Bible study with our Bible study group Monday night,
Yes.
and Toby's like, "Why don't you just fire her?" I was like, "Dude, I have every single day.
Yeah.
She keeps coming back."
Either I come back or he begs me to come back. So yeah. What a while. I can't believe it's been 5 years. I told the CPA, I was like, it feels like it's been 50.
Where do you think we'll be in another 5 years?
Well, hopefully retired.
With a key to the town?
Yeah.
With the golden
that
key?
golden key.
The golden key
And the
to
golden
the town?
ticket.
Golden key.
And then hopefully we can
golden
go visit
ticket.
Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory.
Well, we'll have a chocolate factory by then.
Yeah.
By the
Hopefully-
way, we've never wanted a chocolate factory. I do want to open up a pizzeria. I've always wanted to open a pizzeria.
We've Dawn said, never ever quit, George. We have talked about building our own storage unit facility, which
we were talking to the CPA about
yeah,
that today.
we did
too.
bring that up to him today. And so it definitely won't happen this year because we bought the schoolhouse. And so it's probably something within the next 5 years.
And we have something else big, huge planned.
So we told them, we were like, we know we told you we are going to build the storage unit facility.
But wait until you hear this.
And he just kind of looked like, I see where you're going with this.
Like, I like it. I like it,
I see
Jeremy.
where you're going.
He's like, just send me all the paperwork. Send me all the paperwork. So in 5 more years, you'll think we'll be where?
That we'll have our own storage unit facility.
Where do you think it'll be?
Where,
Don't answer that.
you know, on that piece of land.
I just
where-
asked you today, do you want me to sell that piece of land?
and I told you no.
And we are not talking about any of the pieces of land that you guys are thinking about.
Yeah.
I own more than what you see on YouTube. Which, as I've stated this before, I don't draw a paycheck. I'm the only employee that does not draw a paycheck. There is no paycheck for me. I don't get paid. There's nothing for me. Everything is in the trust. It's in the trust for my kids, and frankly, Camp Patmos is a beneficiary as well. Boom, boom, boom. Which is
What
why
do you-
we share Camp Patmos with you.
What do you see? Where do you see us in 5 years?
I think we'll own a town, we'll change the name, and
You'll have
all
pygmy
the trolls out there that don't understand humor and sarcasm right now.
He just said he's gonna go into town. He's changing the name. I can't believe it. Save yourselves.
It's the same people that think that you seriously applied for the town clerk
Yeah, it's the
position.
same people that think I actually applied for the town clerk position. Like, what kind of messed up in the
So
head
you
they
definitely
have to be?
see yourself having pygmy goats?
I would like to have pygmy goats at that. That would be nice.
Interesting.
In 5 years,
Interesting.
do not think we will be on YouTube anymore. I think we will be completely done with YouTube. In 5 years, I think we've been done with YouTube 4 years ago, but for some reason we keep going. But in 5 years, I don't think we'll have anything to do with YouTube. In 5 years, I think Netflix will have already signed a contract for the Otter Creek story, and that will be all over the world. And Lynette will be famous, just like she's always wanted, just like Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic should be featured in that.
But, you know, Russ the Sus, Lynette, and John Crook were having a meeting after the last special meeting in Otter Creek. I think they were fighting over who's going to be the main character of the Netflix series.
Who's gonna play
So
whose role?
they want to. Well, they're all going to play their own role. It's all film, but I'm pretty sure they're trying to fight over who's going to be the main character in the town of Otter Creek. So Netflix is going to have the series all over the world, which really it already is. But we've never signed a contract before. We always say no. We always say no to producers.
Right, because they
And-
control your schedule and we don't like that. And they control your social media, which we don't like either.
So So I think if Netflix wants the Otter Creek story, I'm going to sign the contract, and so that's probably going to happen. So we have been invited to be on Storage Wars. We've not made that happen. In 5 years, I'm going to say we probably were on Storage Wars just for visiting. We were just
As a special
as
guest.
a special guest. We didn't sign a contract. We were just there for a special guest. That's probably going to happen. In 5 years, we're probably still going to be at Hale's headquarters because I can't foresee ever moving from that place. And I also think in 5 years, we are going to have a home on an island because you already found one that you like.
Thanks, Danielle.
It's going to be the smallest island in the world with one palm tree, but you won't be able to see. See, this is the thing. George is like, can we please get this island? Lynette and John Crook cannot stalk us or buy or be anywhere near us.
You can't get to it unless you take a plane and then a charter boat.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. I like that idea. I mean, I like that a lot. So nobody
John
will
says,
be there.
Hawaii, Hawaii, Hawaii.
Maybe it was fun in Hawaii.
The weather was perfect.
The weather was perfect.
And the nice thing is the weather is the same all year round in Hawaii.
So let's see, where else will we be? I will probably be 50 pounds heavier because George never stops shoveling food in my mouth. You even saw her with the cheesecake.
You witnessed it with the cheesecake.
And then I went and did it myself. But I do think I will be much balder. So if you go back and look 5 years ago, I had much more hair, but I had...
Yeah, but you had weird colics.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
But there's been a lot of emotional stress, so I mentioned the previous relationship before George, but George in herself has emotional stress as well, so, you know, it just takes itself out on me. And I did go and have a meeting with a hair plant specialist, and George goes, ask him if you can put my armpit hairs in your head. And I asked him, and I videoed it, and he said no.
He said it doesn't work that way.
So we did not go that route. If I couldn't have her armpit hairs on my head, I wasn't getting implants. That was...
What was the reason why you couldn't use my hair follicles?
I don't remember. Do you
Different
remember? I
texture.
sent you the video.
I think it's because
He's like, "This is a different texture."
and different color.
I was like,
and
yeah, I want the Arabic fro. Let's get it. Come on. It'd be fine.
You'd have hair like Bozo the Clown. Just like,
Great. It'd be great. He did say no, and I did video it, and it was all a joke, but I did video it for George. I was
Did
like,
you, or did you FaceTime me? You video
I
chatted
videoed you. I took a video of them
and then sent it to me.
sent it to you.
I couldn't remember if you video chatted me or if you sent it to me.
So, JK says, what the island Hale's coming in 5 years. I joke about it now, but watch. Somebody's going to be like, he won't buy an island. And I'm like, okay.
Watch me.
And I'm like, okay.
And you can have your own helipad.
We tried to build a helipad for Levy County, but they're building
They
their own.
refused it.
So that's all right. That's fine. I think in 5 years, the schoolhouse will be completely and totally remodeled to its original
Happy
beauty.
belated anniversary, Shelly.
And I think Otter Creek will be a thriving community with loving people, and there will be people that were formerly living in Otter Creek that will be living in the penitentiary. I do believe that as well. In 5 years, we'll probably still be laughing like crazy. You will drive me crazy, but still be laughing like crazy. Like,
Isn't that what couples do though? Is they drive each other crazy? That's part of the duty.
listen, I will clearly tell you, George is easy to fall in love with and very hard to stay in love with. Because she'll lure you in with this, and then it ain't like this. So she's easy to fall in love with, hard to stay in love with.
What did we tell our Bible study group? Like, whenever we get into an argument, like I come at them with something funny. Like, I won't ever apologize.
She's never said I'm sorry in her
Never.
entire life. It's always her fault, but she's never said I'm sorry. She'll
Can
try
I
and
tell
crack
you
a
for
joke
small
and it's
lies?
inappropriate instead of actually.
I'll let you guys know. Our whole team is all watching you guys right now.
Oh.
They're all in the back watching.
You want
Yeah.
to tell the camera that?
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Cheeky.
Yeah. So our whole They're big fans. They have it up on like the big TV and everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they like your guys' story.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, the story started right here 5 years ago in booth 88.
88. Thanks, Cheeky.
What was I just saying? See? Alzheimer's.
Oh, we were talking about how I won't ever
You won't-
apologize.
Georgia's literally never said I'm sorry.
I'll say I'm sorry if I step on his foot
No.
or if
No.
I burp in his
She'll say,
face.
well, she burps like crazy. Like crazy. and she'll go, oh, I'm a lady. I'm like, you're a lady, huh?
So I'll come with him with something funny or like
She
some
will
type
not
of funny
apologize.
peace
Never.
offering.
Never apologize. She will crack a joke or she will touch me in some way to annoy me. Usually sticking her finger in my ear, which is normal.
So yeah, that's us.
Never thought we'd have our lives out online.
Never thought that the whole kitchen crew of BW3 would be watching us live on the big
Do you
screen.
think the peacocks at home are watching right now?
No, they don't have TV. They just have a mirror.
They do have a mirror. They
Yeah.
watch themselves in the mirror.
Our peacocks love, for whatever reason, they love looking at themselves in the mirror.
Just like their mom.
No, just like you.
When do I ever look at my...
Every
have you
time-
seen me? Have you seen me look
Every
at...
time there's a mirror in front of you, you have to point out your bald spots.
Like, oh, I'm getting
and then
more
you
bald.
stand sideways and then you stick your dad butt out.
I
That's
told
what
her,
you do.
I was like, this is the last meal. I gotta drop 500 pounds because this is out of control. Lynette is trying to kill me. I'm at 300 pounds now. You see me? I'm at 300 pounds. I'm withering away, man. She's stressing me out.
He said, Jeremy said, now that
Thank you,
thanks,
Angela.
for the 10. Jeremy said, now that we hit our 5-year anniversary mark, it's time for a diet. I said, you've been saying that for 5 years.
And she's
We've been
sabotaged
saying
it
that
for
since
5 years.
January 1st of every
You
year.
realize the cook team in the back had no idea all of these references that we're talking about? You guys have 5 years of videos reference, and they're just seeing it for the first time. And they're like, what's he saying? Otter what? Otter lie what? Who what now? Russ the sus, Don the con, Lynette? What? John Crook?
Oh, you
Huh?
guys have a lot of catching up to do.
Mary jail is scary?
They're gonna have the kitchen crew is gonna have a lot of binge watching to do.
You guys may have to get the kitchen crew up to speed on 5 years. 5 years of videos. 5 years of videos. So in 5 years, you just think we'll be doing the same old same old. Will we still live at Hale's headquarters?
Yeah.
When we bought Hale's headquarters, we bought it for forever, for life. That was the last house purchase for us to live in. Although our neighbors, you've seen Dan in one of our videos within this past month, and Dan and Joanne specifically, they want us to buy their home because they know that we'll love it, care for it, and so we've talked about, well, we'll buy their home when it's time, and their kids all know that as well. We'll buy their home as well, but their home is specifically designed to have live-in caretaker in the basement, and George and I will probably get to that point. You know, I would probably her more than
Probably me first.
yeah, probably her first, to where I'm gonna have to have help. So there is wisdom in purchasing that home and then shifting next door.
Well,
even
don't
though it's a
forget,
large piece
there's
of
a
property.
ramp at Hale's headquarters for a reason.
I'm tearing that out. You know
That
I'm tearing
ramp
it out.
was put there
Tearing
on purpose
It out.
for a reason.
The way I tear other things up.
Did you ever use that ramp when you had the knee scooter?
Not
when you
once.
broke your foot?
Not once.
Never?
Ever?
Ever?
Once. No. Not once. Not once. So we'll always be at Hale's headquarters, but we'll probably purchase the neighbor's home as well. That's what they've wanted, and then we may need that in our future. And I've already told George. She's like, "Where are you going to bury me?" I'm like, "In the backyard with the peacocks."
I said
"You
that's
can't
not
do that.
legal. That
That's
doesn't
not legal.
sound
And I
legal.
went, with enough money, anything is legal. I'm going to turn it into a cemetery for only her. And that way I get to see her every day. And she's like, "Where do you want to be buried?" And I always tell you.
He gives me a specific answer, but then I'm like, no, I think I'm going to bury you on Kelly's Island. And he liked that idea.
I'd love that. Kelly's Island, Camp Patmos, that's where I belong.
Yeah.
That's where my heart of hearts is. No doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. That's like my love, 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 love.
Love,
Love, love, love. Yes. So that's that'll work out well. But Otter Creek, what about Otter Creek? Do you think that's forever?
Otter Creek. Well, we've discussed if a potential buyer comes, money talks.
For $2 billion, we will
Yeah, I
sell. We'll sell to Lynette and John Crooks for $2 billion. We'll sell to them. They can own all of. They can have the golden key to the town.
To the ranch.
To the
To the ranch.
They can.
Does the schoolhouse come with the ranch?
We'll even throw in the schoolhouse, but you can't have Deanna. She
The
comes with
employee's
us.
not included.
So, too bad for you. You can't have it. For $2 billion, you can have Otter Creek back. Or you could have just charged me the normal fee for water. That would have been smart too. And
we-
everything would be just the way it was.
We talked about letting that property go if a certain someone came in to do something.
Little zum zum zum. Little zum zum zum. Which ain't ever gonna happen. Because Russ the Sus ain't gonna come up with the $2 billion.
By the way, that's an exaggeration, sarcasm.
She's right. $5 billion. We will sell it for $5 billion. Should we just sell the property to Netflix, and then Netflix can record Otter Creek
They could put
nonstop?
recording,
They can
filming
put recording studios everywhere.
It'll
all
look
over
like
Otter
Warner
Creek.
Brothers Studios on the ranch.
It'd
I
be
mean, the
awesome.
cell tower is there, so it'd be perfect.
You got the
for
cell
them.
tower. You're good to go.
It really would be
Netflix.
perfect.
Netflix. Otter Creek should be Netflix first ever 100% 24/7 live streaming of a town. Like you should be able to hit cameras all over and watch everybody in the town.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I bet a lot of people would watch that series.
I know everybody here would watch that, except the people that are in the cook. You know, they're cooking in the back right
In
now,
the
Buffalo
kitchen
Wild
crew?
Wings. Yeah,
The
they're
kitchen crew?
like, we still don't know what Otter Creek is. We don't
They're
know.
trying to.
Okay.
They're like, he's mentioned it this many times. What's he talking about?
Do you think somebody back there's like, I made their cheese curds? By the way, if you made our cheese curds, they were incredible.
Yes. Hats off to the chef, whoever deep fried them. They were deep fried to
It
perfection.
was incredible.
Whoever mixed the fancy sauce, it was mixed to perfection.
Yeah, and whoever puts the ketchup on the table,
Whoever made this iced tea, perfection.
whoever did the Mountain Dew,
With the ice.
you're a little pitchy dog. You're a little pitchy.
Is that Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Mountain Dew. Buffalo Wild Wings only does Pepsi products.
Oh,
Come on, you know that. You know that. So 5-year anniversary. Have we done anything special?
we spent the day together.
We do that literally every single day.
We do?
Except when I'm in Otter Creek and you won't fly back with me because you told me you will not come back to Otter Creek until Lynette and John Crook are gone.
Yeah, they scare me. I'm terrified to have to drive past their property.
Well,
But I will.
anybody pointing guns at you?
I mean,
What if I
Can't
put a
blame me.
What if I put a missile launcher on top of your black car?
no.
So they pull a gun and you have a missile launcher. What if
mean
I
a
buy
pew-pew?
What if I buy a tank? Who wants us to buy an army tank for Otter Creek? Who wants us? Be honest. Who wants us to buy an? You know I can do it, and you know I will.
No, you're not going to buy an army tank.
Why not? I'm gonna park it right across the street from them.
How do you start the army tank? With the gold key?
It's the key to the town.
So it's a universal key.
Yeah.
So the same key for
Thank
the
you,
town
Patty.
will start.
What
the
you doing?
army
Willis
tank.
said, "I dare you." That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
So just one vote.
Now we're already gonna. Once we get back, we're already gonna put cameras on their property. So 24/7 will have surveillance on their property and what's happening. But the cameras will be on our property, which is completely legal. So
Is there going to be like a fire hose since we don't have our own fire rescue with this tank? Just in case we need to use it to spit out water in case of emergency?
whatever you have to do, whatever makes you. I think I should get a tank. I honestly think I should get a military tank.
Let's talk about that off camera. We'll discuss that off camera.
This is an on-camera conversation with
No,
all of them. They're
no.
part of this. They're part of this anniversary gift. You already bought me a town. I'm gonna buy you a tank.
Okay, then how about next year?
Dawn says get a tank. We need a tank beforehand. We need a tank before you get back.
Where would you store this
Deborah
tank?
said just buy a fish tank. Not gonna happen.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fish tank.
Not gonna happen.
That's more affordable.
No.
Actually, someone reached out to us
I want a working
that wanted
military
to put a,
tank.
that wanted to put a fish tank at the schoolhouse.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I
They're all
responded back
saying
and I
saying
said,
I won't do it. So now I have to
"You
prove it to
won't.
them.
You won't."
Why would you even say that to me? Seriously, why would you? You know I will find a tank for sale tonight and put in an offer on it. And then I will park it pointed straight at them.
You know what? You're grown. I can't tell you what to do. You're gonna do what you want to do.
They said get a pink tank. We ain't getting a pink tank. It's for her. She don't do pink. You don't do pink, right?
He said, JK said get 2 tanks.
Isn't her? I tried to do that with ATVs out on the Florida ranch, but she wouldn't let me.
It would have been a bad investment because we use the Gator so much, and then when we have friends that come to visit, it comes in place and perfect because then we could take them on a ride, and all of us are on it together. And we've used it to help sort with storage units. We've used it to gather up sticks and branches after a storm.
It's not like we don't have trucks to do that, so we use it for sticks and branches.
Remember when you bought Ramsey's 2.0, you said this is not going to be a work truck.
And then we worked on it all last year and destroyed it. Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, Ramsey's 2.0 got a little messed up last year. So when we got back, then Ramsey's 2.0 got detailed, and we have to order a brand new tailgate for Ramsey's 2.0 as well.
The whole thing has to be replaced?
Whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Whole
Poor
thing.
Ramsey 2.0.
Whole thing has to be replaced.
Amanda says, what about a cannon?
Got one. Remember the storage unit? I paid $9,000.
With the taxidermy bear?
There's that mini cannon, and we're going to. I already have plans. We're gonna test it out when we get back for the August meeting. What direction you think we're pointing it?
Not at the cell tower.
Definitely not at the cell tower. Not at the cell tower. But we do have plans to give it a go. Should be fun. Should be really fun.
I remember when we first moved to Otter Creek, there was a neighbor that was shooting off a cannon once a week.
Guess who that neighbor is gonna be now?
You won't.
Look, she just said I won't do it. You know I'm gonna do it now. You know I'm gonna do it. We have to protect our property with tanks
Oh,
and
Gate
cannons.
Smasher says he knows a guy with a tank.
Oh, Gate Smashers, email me. See if he's selling. If it's functional, I want one that can be locked and loaded, and I can remote from my phone. I need Bluetooth capabilities as well. To just when the cameras go off, Bluetooth capabilities. That's what I want. Jerry said, tanks a lot. So I think we'll own a tank in the next 5 years. We'll have a tank.
I have a tank joke. You want to hear the tank joke?
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tank.
Tank who?
You're welcome. It's a corny knock, knock tank joke.
What are some other things that were on our bucket list that we said we still wanted to do that in 5 years we probably will end up doing? We want to snorkel the coral reefs, but you don't want to snorkel. I do.
Right.
We want to see the redwood forest together.
Yes.
So
That I can do.
that I think we'll probably do in the next year. We'll see the redwood forest together. We want to go to Yellowstone, which
We were
neither
gonna-
of us never done.
We were going to explore another rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, we want to go back to the Grand Canyon for sure. That was incredible.
I think we talked about going to explore Alaska,
We did.
do some whale watching in Alaska, see the northern lights in Alaska.
We want to buy a bear. Oh, wait. Check that one off the list. Got a bear this month.
And an elk,
And an elk.
and some turkeys. Like 4 of them, right?
4.
4 of them.
Yeah.
Some nice bucks, all kinds of stuff. Fish.
Awesome bucks. Well, we got it.
Yeah.
We got now the staff in the back, the cooks in Buffalo Wild Wings are like,
These guys have bears. These guys have elks.
yeah, you have to go back a little bit. It was,
Yeah.
it was
Our-
a video from this past
Our
month.
moose needed friends.
Yeah, our moose needs friends.
Fred the moose, that's his name. He needed some friends.
No, we do have a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a moose as well. Believe it or not.
He's
Believe
a
it or
big
not.
old moose.
Oh, remember when we caught and domesticated wild boar? Forgot about that. Oh, and
Houdini got away
3 times.
Jinx.
You owe me a
Minnesota.
Oh, that's not what you usually say.
Soda. And then
So-
she had babies, and we would see her on the camera every night with her babies. And then when we got back,
They didn't
They
show
never
up
came back.
anymore.
so
They didn't show up anymore. And our
It was
gator,
hunting
alligator,
season. Yeah, it was hunting season, so we thought maybe got hunted.
Allie's in the back at the ranch. She had a boyfriend. Allie had her boyfriend this past season. You know, that was
Doing
fun.
alligator things in the creek.
Are we gonna do alligator things later?
In the creek.
We got 3 creeks at Hale's headquarters.
That's right. Which we were talking about. The one creek, our buddy got stuck. He got his machine stuck.
He did. He did. He got his forestry mulcher stuck, but it was awesome. Thank you,
Thanks,
Philip.
He said we should tour a ketchup factory, which we still need to tour the Albanese gummy factory.
Yeah, we have been talking
We
about
haven't done
that.
that. We still want to go to Niagara Falls
I've been trying to get you to Niagara Falls since I met you.
on the Canadian side.
Oh yeah. But you gotta have a green card for that. So
I have my passport.
do you have your green card?
I don't need a green card. I'm not a visitor. I was born here.
That's what she says. That's what she says.
Someone said get a pair of golden pheasants.
We could. Now that we have the bird aviary, the aviary is up. Yeah, we could. So we still have to landscape the whole inside of the aviary. And I was talking to Christian and Patience and George yesterday. You know, I want to put ground cover to climb up the netting and the poles and like a trumpet vine. Thanks, James. And so there's a lot we still have to do on the inside. And once we can get to that, then we can go, okay, let's add some more different type of bird to that. So we'll get there eventually. We have quite a few projects that need to be done.
A lot.
A lot.
You still gotta hang up all those guitars that you found in
All the
storage
guitars, yeah, those all have to be hung up.
unit. I gotta wipe them all down, dust them off for you.
I still have to go out and search and find a ton of Garbage Pail Kids to fill up shelves. I mean, that's a full-time job right there. I mean, how you gonna live life without finding Garbage Pail Kids? Which,
The CPA asked you, what's your shirt say?
yeah, my CPA today is like, it's like, what is your shirt? Like, he never knows what to think about me. Like, I get it.
He
Thank
never
you, Terry.
knows what the hell's to think about you. Thanks,
So
Terry.
if I walk in, like he doesn't. I'm not your typical affluent customer. Okay, I'm not your typical affluent customer at all. I wear
Should you
this.
just start wearing like obnoxious button-ups
I don't.
with your
So-
Garbage Pail Kids underneath?
So he just never knows how to take me. And I've taught you guys this. I've taught you so many times that everybody thinks that doctors and lawyers have all the money in the world. And that is not true. Doctors and lawyers have accumulated most of the debt in the world. Doctors and lawyers live paycheck to paycheck just like anybody else working in a factory or anywhere else in the world. They accumulate debt. They go, oh, I'm making this much money now. I can spend this much money. your multimillionaires are your small business owners, your mom and pops
investors.
and investors. And so, but my CPA doesn't know how to take me because he's like, wait, hold a second. You buy and resell toys? How does that work? And how do these numbers? And it goes, you wear somebody like that on your shirt all day? That's like, yeah, I am. And he's like, all right, well, let's talk about the numbers for this year. Where do you think you're going to be? Well, I think we're going to be in the, and then we start talking business. And it's funny. He doesn't know how to take me because your average person of my assets doesn't live the way I live. Does that make sense? They buy themselves new socks, new underwear. They don't wear the same T-shirt every day. They don't live the way I live. I live very simple, very, very simple. And then he doesn't know how to take it. Okay, all right. And then it immediately turns to business. I can run circles with him, talking business and numbers and all of that. But that's his job. We're good. Is your girlfriend still on?
Oh, I doubt it.
You think she logged out? She's like, I saw you once. I'm done.
She got to see you. That's all she needed.
She's like, that's all I wanted.
Well, I appreciate it.
You could probably bring us the check though.
The check?
Yeah. You know we're gonna have to do a heavy tip because we've been here for like 2 hours.
Well, when we requested this booth,
They didn't even have this section open. They were like, you can't go over there. They're like, you can't go over there.
The
It's not
waitress
open.
won't
There's
be
no
here till
waitress.
5.
And we were like, okay, we'll wait. And then he came over and he's like, I'll take care of you. So
right away. We didn't
Yeah.
have to wait at all.
somebody said frugality. Yeah, well, my whole life is frugality. Yeah, Cincy Gal said frugality. Yeah, everything in life, frugality. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I think a lot of our fans understand that. But they probably also are like, Jeremy, why do you wear the same shirt all the time? I dressed up for the anniversary, guys. Come on. I dressed up for the anniversary.
Thank you.
How much damage is it going to be? You guys want to see how much damage? Oh, that's not bad. Look at
Our
that.
server's Keegan. Thank you, Danielle. She gave us tip money.
Thank you. It says thank you. Happy 5 years.
Aw.
Baby, you're an expensive date.
It was a
55.77.
cheesecake.
It's 55.77. We'll round up to $100.
And we had leftovers.
We'll round up to $100, so he'll just about get $50 of the tip. Is that good? Is that okay? Yeah, we'll round up so it's $100. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah. I think most servers would be happy with that.
What did the viewers want to see in the next 5 years on What the Hales?
A lot of people are like,
He said
no,
you'll
no,
probably.
no.
Todd said you're gonna probably have a turtle sanctuary.
Turtles are out.
Turtles are out, Todd.
Gators are out.
Gators are out. Turtles are out.
People have ruined those animals
Forever.
The reptiles.
We have PDSDs. We have PDSDs.
What are PTSDs?
What we have. That's what we have right now. That's what we have. So it's rough. Thank you so much, Jay. So we the funny thing, here's the thing that we've learned in regards to YouTube. We find that there are incredible channels, and those channels are continuing to grow, and that's an incredible thing. But those are normal people to have something to offer to others, okay? But we also find that there are those that think that they have something to offer, but really what they are is unstable and
Leechy? What's another word for leechy?
the one thing we find over and over again is up and coming channels. They're narcissistic. They want our help. They want to film with us, which we will not. Like, we film with who we film with now. That's who we film. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kathy.
Kathy.
So we are extremely picky now because we have learned the hard lessons of trusting people in the past, and the way that they will narcissistic. It's what it is. I mean,
We still keep in touch with a lot of people that we've collabed in the very beginning of our channel, but they live in different states. It's too difficult.
some of those individuals, but then you have others that always wanting to film with us, and the answer is no. We've learned our lesson. Or there's those that we've had to cut off. We've never had a channel go, we don't want anything to do with you anymore.
We've chosen to disassociate.
We've disassociated with every channel there's been a disassociation with. It has been our choice. We have said, you cause any drama, you cause anything, you lie, you do it's done. And it's time and time and time again. So we have chosen to disassociate time and time again. So we've also learned, and it's George, because I trust everybody implicitly, and George goes, you can't trust everybody, and you can't help everybody. They're out to take advantage of you, and we've learned that again and again and again and again and again. And that's why you have people stalking us and moving to Otter Creek. Same exact thing, trying to take advantage of the situation because they've seen, I mean, at a bare minimum, you guys have seen us give away over $1 million on YouTube. And so,
we've promoted a lot of people and businesses.
A lot.
Yes. And so that was early on in the YouTube. And so,
But we've learned. So in the future, in 5 years, do you think we're going to do more collabs?
we're very picky now with who we do collabs with.
Probably not.
We're very, very picky. Very picky.
Because we've learned the hard way with people doing stupid stuff.
Right, so if we collab with someone, there has to be some type of fair exchange.
A symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. So,
There has to be a benefit
Limb
for both.
Walkers, for example, he was perfect because we could both help each other. It wasn't, hey, just help me, and I have nothing in return. That was never the case with him, and so that's why.
Limb Walkers actually reached out to us and said, hey, can I just hang out with you, see how you do it? He didn't even ask to film. He's like, can I hang out with you, see how you guys do everything?
Yeah.
We were like, how about you hang out with us and let's see how everything works, and then we'll teach you, we'll tell you everything that we know. And he's looking at us, he's like, that's all you do? We're like, yeah, we're so basic.
Right, because he wanted to transform or transform his TikTok viewers onto
To YouTube.
and make that transition.
And obviously that was a very, very good collab, and now strong friendship as well. So Limb Walkers, yeah, we appreciate them very, very much so. So that's a newer one that you've seen.
So another newer one that you've seen is the Tree Shop with
Florida Tree
Jeremiah
Shop.
and Lacey. There are
Right.
another ones where it wasn't just me, help me. This is what I could offer you. And so we still stay in touch with them.
And we'll be filming with them again. And we're trying to get Limb Walkers and the Florida Tree Shop together to do some things too, which
That'll
would be
be
cool.
fun. Yeah,
That would be
fun.
very cool. Somebody mentioned Omar. Yeah, we hang out with Omar and Tiff.
Yeah, we
down
keep
there.
in touch with them. We don't always film with the people that we keep in touch with.
Yeah, even when like the last time we were with Tiffany and Omar,
We didn't film
we
at
didn't
all.
film anything. We didn't film anything at all.
And we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't always film.
Yeah.
So we didn't film anything at all. And then they came out to the schoolhouse and they filmed.
Yes.
So, but we didn't film with
Thanks,
them. We were like, hey,
Michelle.
have fun. Here's the keys. We're going out. We were like, we ain't up for this all-night filming thing. You guys
They
do your
spent-
own thing.
Yeah, they pulled an all-nighter at the schoolhouse. So.
But
which-
Omar and Tiffany are
Yeah.
incredible.
Omar recently lost his mother, and so he's been struggling with that, and he lost a really close cousin back to back almost.
Well, we keep telling them come up to Hale's headquarters and just chill.
Yeah.
But they've got a busy schedule too. So, do you think in 5 years we'll find that